That was brutal.
That was brutal. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it.
Okay.
TNMP, the Nerdy Misfit Podcast, with your hosts, Connor O'Neill and Matthew Hughes.
Wow, my ears are on fire.
Oh
That
my
was a little louder than
gosh.
normal.
Hello.
Are you awake?
I'm awake, ready to go.
All right. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Nerdy Misfit Podcast. We're your hosts, Connor,
And
Matt, and today we'll be breaking down another anime for our anime of the month. This is our longest running series. Pretty simple. We pick an anime at the start of the month. We watch it during that month. Last podcast episode of the month, we talk about it. So, with
Here
that
we
said,
are.
there's going to be spoilers ahead.
Spoilers ahead. If you have not seen the anime Alice to Zoroku.
Or Alice and
Or
Zoroku.
Alice, yeah,
I
really
guess.
depends. I guess. I don't know. Same thing. But yes, if you like anime, make sure you like, comment, subscribe.
And
the good
join
old
us
Nerdy
next
Minute.
week where we have kind of a different setup.
Yes.
Let us know. It's a little scuff.
It's our first time doing that setup, but the principle is there. Let us know if you guys like that setup. Maybe Connor and I will switch up our little setup for 2026.
We had to make do with what we had,
Exactly.
space-wise.
Exactly.
But yeah, it's exciting. That'll be a fun ep. We have a guest.
Yes,
First
we have
guest
a guest
in a while.
in a very
First live
hot
guest.
minute, in an even longer while.
I can't even remember who the last live guest was. Eddie?
We used still were video chat,
Oh yeah, we did.
so it was Gray. Tim
Maybe Tim.
might be Tim, probably Tim.
It's been a while. It's been a hot minute.
Yeah, but anyways, here we
jumping
are.
in.
Alice and Zoroku, or Alice to Zoroku. Air date back in spring 2017. Episode count was 12 episodes, done by the one and only JC Staff. The genre was adventure and mystery.
Mm-hmm.
And the MyAnimeList score is sitting at a 7.10 based on 124,219 people that have added it to their list somewhere.
Yeah, it's completed by 58,000 people.
Yeah.
59,000. That's the important one.
Exactly. And here's the description. Based off MyAnimeList is Sana is not an ordinary little girl. She possesses a special ability known as Alice's Dream. Due to her power, which allows her to create anything from her imagination, all she knows is the laboratory where she is a test subject. Wishing to experience the outside world, she escapes and meets a stubborn old florist named Zoroku Kashimura in a convenience store. All too soon, her pursuers catch up, and Zoroku is roped into Sana's troubles. However, far from trying to distance himself, Zoroku extends a hand to help Sana. Following his values and sense of justice, he even gives the pursuers a piece of his mind. Zoroku then offers Sana a place to stay, beginning the daily life and struggles of the unlikely duo. Do you think that description did it justice?
Yeah, I would say that's part of it.
That's the first arc.
The first arc's also like the first episode. And
Yeah.
maybe.
Part of the second.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is basically a synopsis of the first two eps.
Which is often
Which
how
is
a lot
often
of
the case, yeah.
synopses go. But before we dive too far in, obviously I want to say that the manga is still ongoing.
Yes, I do have that in my notes.
And we both have not read the manga.
Correct.
So hard to say if it followed it near the end. I have a feeling maybe it didn't.
Definitely not the very, very end of the show.
At least my opinion.
Yeah.
It just seemed a little...
Not rushed, but you're like, oh,
There was a
here's the
little
end.
bit of
Okay, bye.
rushing and a little bit of like, I don't know, wrapping up some
Yeah,
ends that where if you were to think, oh, this is going to keep going, we'll keep leaving some stuff open. But yeah, I guess initial thoughts, Matt.
Initial thoughts? Well, I wanted to like it more. I think it started off very strong with showcasing some interesting plots and some interesting powers, some interesting characters and stuff like that. But I think like episode 6, I was like, the plot shifted the genre and it definitely slowed down. Like the first episode being like 44 minutes was good. I enjoyed that.
I don't know. Now we see that a decent amount.
but this was more rare back in the time.
I think that was like 8 years ago, 2017, right?
Fate's Unlimited Blade Works would have been doing it. Fate Zero did it, but
it wasn't happening as much
no, it's more rare that it was a bigger episode.
to try and get more of the story covered,
Yeah,
get you hooked.
exactly. But I think the first few episodes was definitely adventure, mystery, and then after the first couple of episodes, it just shifted to more slice of life for a few eps, and that it jumped back to a little bit of mystery, and then it was kind of like weirdly, it felt like it was jumping between genres a little bit.
I wasn't a little bit. It was jumping between genres.
But what were your initial thoughts?
I think the powers were interesting.
Yep.
The what are they? The Alice powers, right? The dreams of Alice. Obviously, when we're first watching it, and there's already references to Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah.
You're expecting a lot
More.
a lot more. And I feel like you really only got a lot more Alice in Wonderland near the end.
Yeah, but it
The other
wasn't
thing
even
is-
like
We have
Good.
Sana, who's the main character, who's they're calling the
Red Queen occasionally.
The Red Queen occasionally.
She gets called Alice
but
a
then
couple
Alice-
times.
But those are also completely
two
different
very different characters
in the story. So
yes.
that was very bizarre, I
Yeah.
thought. Obviously, you also have different... they're almost like Easter eggs to Alice in
Yeah.
Wonderland. We're like, oh, we have the twins.
I was expecting the twins to be named something closer to Tweedledee and Tweedledum, but they were not.
We
But-
get the cat,
The cat,
and we get a rabbit.
a
near
little
the-
rabbit
at the
with a
end.
trench coat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I thought there was going to be a lot more Alice in Wonderland references or heavier importance on that story. Now, I think there's pros and cons to each having
Yeah.
it not be as reliant on it, but also it just felt like there wasn't as much as I was expecting. The animation was fine, so it wasn't like turned off from that. But the biggest thing is, if you follow the 3-episode rule on this show, you kind of feel a little baited
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
because the action is decent, the powers are cool, and we basically by episode 4 or 5, we're already done with who you would have assumed
Yeah.
was the bad for the 12 episodes.
Yeah,
almost.
exactly.
Or even further on.
Yep.
Because we get introduced to this laboratory that is containing our main character, Sana, and you're like, okay, they're the bads. How are they going to handle it? How is she
Mhm.
going to stay away from them? Are they going to introduce even more Dreams of Alice to get her? Right? Because we see only four in total that they use.
Yeah.
Right? We have the twins, the boy that just
Can
goes AFK
yeah.
after episode 5, just gone, not even ever referenced
Not even
again.
mentioned anymore.
And then the
hands.
the girl for her husband.
Yeah. Which, to be fair, that was actually that was
That was brutal.
brutal. Yeah.
Um,
But I enjoyed it. but-
okay.
Well, it was just a deep, it was probably one of the only questions we really got answered.
Valid. Yeah. But yeah, it just kind of more turns into a story that focuses more on just the everyday life of Sana, because pretty early we learn that she's not really human,
Yeah.
and you just kind of follow her as she learns to go through life without relying on her powers.
hmm
Also learning just what it means to be part of a family, learning manners, etc. And just very curious girl, quotations girl. Yeah, I mean, if you're into that, it's fine. But if you watch the first 3 eps and you're expecting it to continue that action, cool kind of fights with the powers,
It ain't. Sorry to
happened.
break it to you.
and I think part of it maybe is like they're trying to nerf him because let's face it, Sana's power is kind of insane.
Yeah.
Because like the twins are like, ooh, my power is so ultra specific. I can shoot stuff, and then the other one's like, add chain.
I have chain abilities. I summon chain.
And then Sana's just like, I can just anything I
can
think about.
teleport, but also I can create anything I want.
I can
Or
create anything
take
I
away
want.
anything I want.
And
You're
at
like,
first
oh.
they make it sound like she can only do it in Wonderland,
Yeah.
but then obviously she's doing it outside of Wonderland.
Yeah, you also at the very beginning think she can only teleport too, because she kind of just pops out and disappears.
That's
I'm like,
exactly what you think at first,
okay.
yeah.
Then you're like, nope, she can create things all of a sudden. Okay.
Yeah, the pigs, and then that's it. That's all you need after that is
Yeah.
she can do whatever she imagines. Her
Yeah.
power is her imagination.
Literally creation.
But yeah, dumping into the plot and characters. As we discussed, the series does take an interesting turn to a much more mellow.
Yes.
Now I will say that first 5 episodes is pretty solid.
Definitely.
It just feels a little quick resolution. I don't know we can look at like maybe who the intended audience is, because it kind of feels like a magical girl anime, but not to the same extent of like, like a Sailor Moon with classic transformations. This is just a lot of young girls with powers for the most part. We only had that one male character that we ever saw that had powers. Even though at the end they say that anyone can become a someone with the dream of Alice. So that was very open-ended and being like, what? How? Didn't see it. I really enjoyed the arc where we see Zoroku take in Sana when they're like high up in the sky.
Yeah,
and
that is cute.
That was a really cute scene. I did kind of like the final fight and how it did end up kind of concluding the big fight between Shizuku and the other lady, the one with the husband and power. It was a very solid fight. It was entertaining. I just was not expecting the whole operation to just be done at that point.
Yeah. And you're like, okay, we still have 6 episodes
Well,
left.
we didn't even get a ton of answers as to that, the people behind the scenes of that. We know that was run by the U.S. government, and the one we're following is the Japanese government, who are like, oh yeah, the gifts of Alice, they're fine. Like, let them exist.
Fine.
And then the U.S. one was like, no, we need to control them, their powers or whatever.
Yeah.
And it just concluded a lot quicker than expected. And not that the slice of life stuff is bad. I enjoyed like the haircut and learning about the haircut. Like those scenes are fun. And I think a lot of the scenes with Sane, the granddaughter of Zoroku, are very cute with her interactions with Sana. But just not what you feel like you initially signed up for.
No, definitely not. I think like you said, the first 4 to 5 episodes, great arc, great action, great character development. You're like, wow, this world seems super cool with all these different powers. And then like the next episode, you're like, oh, it's just a casual day for the family. And then right after that, then you're getting introduced to a brand new character. On episode 7, we get introduced to Hattori, who has like a weird mind control power. And you're like, oh, wow, she's kind of crazy.
No, her power is even more than mind control because she can just kind of stop time.
Yeah.
Was it stopping time, or was it just stopping people and they were just graying them out?
I think it was just I think they were just graying them out, but I think it's mind control to the point of like, I can just infiltrate and be like, hey, you're frozen now. Until I say otherwise.
And it wasn't just like, she didn't have to be within eye contact or even verbal range.
In
like
a general area.
Yeah, she just like mass areaed it at one time. And then that's who we follow basically to the end, where her story is a bit sad. Young girl dealing with her parents fighting, clearly going towards a divorce, and she feels like it's all her fault and she wants to stop it. So I feel like that's a very relatable story to a lot of people, and it's sad. I think and this will jump into one of my negatives actually, is it's hard to follow these characters who are supposed to be 7 or 8 years old, and their vocabulary is so good.
Wild.
But then mentally they still act like they act the age, right? They're sad or being over exaggerating or being dramatic about certain scenarios or being upset about scenarios they don't understand.
Yeah.
And they lash out like you would expect from a young child.
8-year-old, yeah.
But then when they talk, you're like, this is not a 7 or 8-year-old.
No.
So that kind of took me out. Just the way the vocabulary was for these younger kids. I don't know if you noticed that, or that was just like a pet peeve of mine where I was like, this kid is like talking about her elementary school entrance test.
Yeah. Like, it's just, to me, it felt like you're watching one of those like anime where like a beginning after the end where you like somebody's consciousness goes back in time to a younger body, and then they're just like, they're super smart, but they still need to act the age. And I'm like, well, like, I get they were experimented on, like, you can kind of make the argument for that, but also it just felt out of place.
Well, some of them make sense. Like Sana obviously technically isn't even human. She's
that's
why she keeps using the word frazzled, because she doesn't know how to describe her feelings, right? But when we get introduced to Hattori later, she has been growing up with a family. She's just dealing with her own issues, but then she's so smart and good with her words, but then reacts the way you would expect a 7 or 8-year-old to react to her current situation.
Yep.
So it was just
a lot.
It's a little confusing. It takes you out a bit, in my opinion.
Agreed.
The animation, I felt like it was decent. Nothing special, but also not like bad.
Yeah, it was pretty neutral. Like the characters were the design was interesting enough to want me to keep going. Like it wasn't bad.
The fight choreography was okay.
Yeah.
Cool way of handling the powers.
I did like the CGI that they did to show like the dreams of Alice to like show it slowly going away, so they were becoming like weaker. They had like less power to use.
Did they though?
That's the way I looked at it.
That's not how Oh, you mean like when they were getting hungry?
Yeah.
Yeah, to show
like when they were using it up.
So you just the attention to detail.
Yeah.
So homage to the author, or that attention to detail by the animation staff to actually have that drawn in, that the little crown gets
smaller,
loses
pieces
gems or whatever.
Yeah. To me, I'm like, okay, that makes sense. Like, at least because it shows that the characters aren't just like OP 100% of the time. With them being, like,
we kind of know that
old.
when we see that Sana like teleports like 3 times and she needs to eat 3 boxes of pizza or whatever. You kind of get the vibe like using your powers takes a lot out of them, which is also why Zoroku is trying to teach Sana like
don't have to use your powers.
Yeah, you don't have to use your powers all the time, and you don't need to always be using them. But yeah, the animation was acceptable. It was not blowing me away, but it also was nowhere. Didn't have much to complain about. Yeah, there's a lot of CGI, but it wasn't horrendous.
Yeah, it wasn't enough that my eyes were like, ugh, it takes it out of it. But
the character designs, everyone stood out. One thing that I do like in this show that isn't done enough, it's getting done more, but I like to see when characters wear different outfits. Even like seeing Sana have a different, having their hair cut as well.
It's not
just to show time, but also to show like that the characters are just, especially in an anime where there's a lot of self-discovery.
It gives them more depth.
Yeah,
hands down.
They're like, oh, I have my own style. Yeah. I'm figuring out what I want to wear.
Like you think of,
I think Dan to Dan has some of the best clothes, like outfits.
That makes sense. Yeah,
like you see them in their school outfit, and you're like, okay, but then like they have outside so many other cool, fits.
Exactly.
Great like streetwear.
Yeah,
but it's just nice to see.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have anything else on character design other than?
No, I mean like there's some character designs. Like I think there's like an episode where she kind of wears like a similar dress to Alice from Alice in Wonderland. Yes. So like that, obviously her having blonde hair is a reference to Alice. So there's like small like random things like that where I'm like, okay, I can appreciate.
They're like, kind of like Easter eggs.
Yeah, kind of like nods. That's basically it. Like for what you said, same. Like they were good. Nothing went like 10 out of 10 animation, but nothing bad enough to be like, oh, the animation was bad.
I thought the music was probably one of the stronger parts of the show overall. Lots of really nice melodic tunes going on. There was even a moment where I think there was a Beethoven song playing. Yep. The best was probably those last 3 or 4 episodes for
the music.
In Wonderland. Like the music was just perfect. It felt like it was just fitting the vibe of the crazy, unique nature that is Wonderland.
The uncertainty of what is actually happening.
So I thought that was really good. The opening, I don't know, it was okay. It felt kind of forgettable for me.
Yeah, nothing like, again, like it wasn't 10 out of 10. That was a Wonder Drive by Orisama.
I think I kind of like the ending more.
Yeah, chant by Toy.
Yeah, the ending just, I don't know. Every time I was like, oh, this is...
Yeah. It's a little bop to end the episode.
You're like, I'm vibing.
You're like, oh yeah, this is kind of slice of lifey.
Yeah, I didn't dislike it, but the opening was fine.
Yeah.
You know, like it wasn't the most memorable, but it was fine. But I think the OST overall was pretty solid.
Mm-hmm.
What were some of your positives and negatives? I guess let's start with the pros before we jump.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I have a couple more negatives than I do have positives, but like the first 5 episodes were great. I do enjoy a show that does like arc by arc. Sometimes I think it's easier to digest when it's longer animes. This one was okay, like, but not like in an anthology style way. Like, To Be Hero X has its own feel for it, but like this felt more like arcy.
Well, yeah, there was only 12 episodes, and we probably have
we did like 3 arcs. Yeah,
you have the first one, which is the escape and kind of joining Zoroku.
Then we have the kidnapping.
Then we jump into the ending of the lab. Then you have the slice of life, kind of just having Sana adapting to her new life, and then the Wonderland.
Yeah.
So there's like 4 mini arcs.
which isn't bad.
I just
I don't
feel
mind
like
it,
pacing wise,
but
you're just
it was
feels
all
like you're
over.
just zooming through.
Yeah. Then maybe like I'm curious how that compares to the manga. If the manga's
Yeah.
that or if it's more slower paced. I did like the relationship between Sana and Zoroku. I thought it was cute. I thought it was
I
very
thought
like
that was probably her with her family in general. Like both
the
Sane
twins even
and Zoroku were like
Yeah,
just
it was just
they
cute.
were the perfect family
Yeah.
for her.
That
Obviously,
was the good
almost like they
slice of
were
life parts.
written that way.
Yeah,
but-
crazy concept. Some of my big negatives would be like I do wish we got more context on the future of how the world like was with the addition of Dreams of Alice because it's such like a throwaway line. It feels like they're like, yeah, so we're just gonna adapt the Dreams of Alice people into like our day-to-day lives and everything's gonna be a-okay.
Well,
And
the
you're
other
like,
thing is,
hold up.
I was really confused when like Wonderland's expanding past, and I was like,
Yeah, because it's like alternate dimension, but also somehow it's leaking into the regular
yeah, and they never
world,
really
but, like,
dove into that
Yeah.
at all.
And then even like the way Wonderland stops just by Zoroku being like, yo, stop.
And are
And
they
you're like,
all getting their
okay.
powers from Sana? Technically,
Yeah, is Sana just
So
a
why-
god in this?
that's what I mean. Like, if
section?
technically, if Sana's the reason everyone has all these people are getting these powers, then why can Hattori stop Sana's powers?
Yeah, why do they cancel each other out?
Because if that's the case, shouldn't Sana kind of be like
Yeah, shouldn't she be like just a little bit
the top of the
higher?
totem pole?
Yeah, like it just doesn't.
That wasn't mathing for me.
Yeah, I think.
That power, and that's the thing. It did feel like it's a very soft magic system. Breaking out some words from my my recent writing
Yes.
lectures. Yeah, it just kind of felt like whatever was needed for the story to
Keep
to
going.
keep going,
Yeah.
but then nothing gets explained.
Yeah, and that is my biggest negative. Where
How do you get the powers?
how do you get the powers? Are you chosen? Do you have to be experimented on? Can you just like take a serum, a pill? Like how does these powers come to formulate?
Is it the power related to how you're feeling, like the power
Yeah.
you actually get? Right?
And did they
Because-
only experiment on 6 children? Clearly not.
Well, no, because we have Hattori who just gets the power.
Yeah, which also doesn't quite
Right,
add up.
and then the other lady who has the husband power, that she just kind of wills the power in a
yeah,
way, right? So, and from those two, it seems like the powers manifest in a way that they kind of need it, right? Hers are like her husband, almost like being able to embrace her still, even
Yeah.
though he's gone. And Hattori is like, she wants to be able to have control, and she gets control. So
yeah.
is that the same for some of the other powers we saw? Like, how is it always something that person needs?
yeah. But then how did the one twin just need chains?
That chained to their twin.
Yes. Haha. But then one of them has a bow and arrow to push their twin, shoot their twin. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
But
All I'm saying is like,
yeah,
it could have used a little bit more explanation.
yeah.
in
I
a
feel
lot
like
of
we
ways.
got lots of questions, and the only answer we really got was why that one person's power was the arms. Like I feel like there was no other big question that really fully got answered.
One Zoroku definitely. It feels like there's so much more to him.
He got no character development other side of like, oh, I need to contact someone. Calls some secret
He stayed
dude.
the same throughout the whole
you're like-
series, which I mean, he is an old man, so you kind of expect them to be who they are.
But like he has a past that we
That's
need
what
to know
I mean.
about.
There's
you
something
know?
going on there, right?
Yeah,
He isn't just a florist.
can't be. It's a cover up.
So yeah, there's that. Also, big confusing thing at the end being like, anyone can become a dream of Alice. What?
Yeah.
What do you mean? How do you
If
do it?
Just believe it.
How? I'm sure a lot of people would do it if that was the case. And then obviously the can of worms with revealing it to society. That would be interesting. This is more of it never got a season 2, so it'd be interesting to see how that affects society
Yeah.
with the knowledge of quirks, basically.
Literally though, yeah.
What else do I have here? I would have been nice to have even more strong tie-ins for Alice in Wonderland. I wrote just because of how it is trying to play along with it. So that's
Yeah.
something that would have been nice. Like I mentioned before, the 7 to 8-year-old, 6-year-old range with just mentally acting like one, making that makes sense to me. And
Yeah.
having maybe some moments where they're sad or whining or are so overwhelmed that they don't know what to do. That makes sense.
Yeah.
But then to have like the vocabulary and intelligence that they have is also just, I don't know, it's very off-putting. And the biggest thing is just, I do feel like it was a little bit snappy. Like it
Too
didn't feel like
fast-paced.
the author and or the adaptation, because
Yeah.
I can't say for sure. I haven't read the manga. I don't know if this is a proper adaptation. It just felt like we were flying through. Like
Way
we
too
couldn't
fast.
decide what the story needed to be about.
Yeah, agreed.
And that's probably the biggest negative. One positive I have here is the one character wants to go to Liverpool because they're a soccer fan and player, and they're like, oh, I want to go to Liverpool.
That's
And I was
so
like,
true.
respect, as
Yeah,
a
yeah.
Liverpool fan, I was like, oh yeah, okay. I respect that.
Yeah, got you.
Very random.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say my enjoyment.
Well, before we talk about the enjoyment, let's
Oh.
jump over.
But enjoy to someone
yeah,
else.
yeah,
See
yeah,
how
we'll-
their enjoyment was.
Exactly. We'll talk about their positive and negatives. We're going to jump over to Troy from the Nerdy Misfit Gaming channel, where he gives us his 2 cents about this show.
Take it away, Troy.
Hello everyone, this is Troy from Nerdy Misfits Gaming, and this is my little review on Alice to Zoroku. This is an interesting anime, to say the least. It's kind of the first anime that I've seen where it takes a pretty big turn halfway through the show. The first half of the show, you follow along Sana, who is trying to figure out what her life is going to be like outside of a lab where she has been imprisoned. She figures out that, she's not human. She has magical powers, and the ones that were trying to keep her in this prison laboratory are trying to bring her back. It really sets up that they are going to be, the big bad of the show. And the show is going on, and it gets to the point where, it looks like it's about to end this part, and you're thinking, okay, what's going to stop the show, this section of the show of this anime of ending? And nothing happens, and that section actually does end. The laboratory is then now, just shut down. And then the second half of the anime, instead of it being kind of like this, not big shonen, but definitely action adventure style, where there's a lot of action going on, and it really just switched it to a slice of life mystery. So it was a real big change there. I would say the art and animation were pretty good. Nothing crazy, but everything seemed to flow together all right. Same thing with the art and music, the music and sound effects. Everything seemed to be all right. I don't recall anything that seemed to be out of place or any sound effect that didn't fit. Everything was good. I think I really liked the first half of the show, of the anime. I think it did set its hooks in me and have me going along, where you're learning about this group of people that have these mysterious powers, the Dream of Alice. And you follow along, and you kind of, trying to figure out what they can do, the history of it all, and, where can this part of the show go? And then all of a sudden it just really kind of goes to an end, and then it gets into what I disliked about the show is I did not like that big flip. That's when I would say the show for me really kind of fell off. It didn't really sit right, and there's too big of a change in the first and the second half to kind of keep it evenly flowing with kind of what they're trying to portray. But again, that's me. I give the first half of the show an 8 out of 10, and then the second half of the show, to me, it drops down to 6 out of 10. So I give the entirety of the show, I'll go right down the middle, I'll go 7 out of 10. I would say if you read the synopsis and that kind of piqued your interest, give the show a try. Just know that halfway through the anime, it really does change the genre that they're trying to portray, and that may not be your cup of tea, but you won't know until you try. So give it a go.
Thanks, Troy. Yeah, I couldn't agree or disagree more.
As we do not know what he said at this point. But it's going to be great. Yeah. How did you enjoy this?
Well, first off, Troy streams every Tuesday, Nerdy Misfit Gaming. Check it out. I look forward to actually seeing what he said. But overall enjoyment, I really enjoyed the first half.
Yeah.
The second half, it kind of felt like we did one of these in a really steep kind of like, I was struggling. I got through the first 5-6 episodes like so quick.
And then it just,
and the last 6
roadblock,
were a struggle for me personally. So I don't know if you feel similarly.
Yeah, I enjoyed it overall. Like, again, but those 5-6 episodes are so much better. The first half is a completely different genre than the second half.
And it's not just because of action.
No, it's not. It's just the
story just felt like it had it knew what it wanted and where it was going.
It's like, no, I shouldn't say that actually. I was going to compare it to Star Wars, where like the newest trilogy, like Force Awakens, like it knew what it wanted. It was a nice, like, this is everything we're setting up.
Yeah.
And then The Last Jedi happens and you're like, we're going to axe all of that and we're going to just move the story
now
over
we
here.
Need to get an ending. Oh, here's the ending.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, and then here's the third movie. Yeah, they end up in Wonderland. Here you go. Bye. And you're like, okay.
Yeah. I feel like considering there's no extra story, I feel like you're probably just better off reading the manga if you want to check this out. I don't know if I would give it a recommendation. If you guys are looking for something to recommend to your friends, if you make it this far into the podcast, thanks, first of all. Hit the like button, subscribe. Yeah. But I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10.
Okay. I did put it like 6.5, so I pushed it up to a 7.
Okay.
But 6 to 7-ish area is pretty. 7's even more is reasonable. Like, might be pushing it, but
yeah, it had good elements. The animation overall was consistent.
Yeah,
decent.
I would be interested to check out the manga to see how different it is.
I would be interested to see how long some of the arcs are. For one, if we got a lot of condensed ones.
I am curious if it is on the app.
And then I don't think it has that in official English. I was seeing on Reddit.
It doesn't?
No.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah. So, in my opinion, it's not a big recommend for friends. If you want to find something similar, I'm sure just keep looking. There's probably something else. In terms of interesting powers, there's in the anime world, there are so many shows with cool powers. If you're looking for, I haven't even seen this one, but I know Gray has talked about it. It's just I've never watched it because of how I think it's Certain Magical Index.
Okay.
They have a lot of cool powers, or there's a lot of characters with very interesting powers. A Certain Magical Index. Yep.
Okay.
It's just long, so I just haven't watched it.
Fair.
But and it's also by JC Staff. Sounds perfect.
So the animation is at least decent.
But yeah, there's that. You could just go watch a shoujo. You can watch. There's a lot to watch instead. So for me, gets a thumbs down, but could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, it could have been a lot worse. That's why I'm like, is aight.
Is aight. Is aight.
But as we move into Anime of the Month for December, the final Anime of the Month for 2025, which is crazy to think about.
And this one's going to be a little bit close. Hopefully the release schedule stays on point.
Yes. This is one you can literally watch along with us because we're also watching it weekly because it is airing right now.
That's right.
And it is called Sanda. It's hopefully only 12 episodes. It's done by Science Saru, who is the people that did Dan to Dan.
Yes, they just do the weird stuff.
Yeah, so I'm excited for this. This is action mystery. The creator of Sanda is the same creator as Beastars, I'm thinking. It's one of those.
Okay.
Maybe double check that. But the genre is action mystery, and currently the Mal score is sitting at 7.47. Just not bad. For currently airing.
The author of Beastars.
Yeah, current author. Yeah, the author of Beastars is the one that wrote Sanda and is currently writing it. I think the manga's still going. But the synopsis, obviously, since it's December, we had to find something that's holiday themed.
And so it's somewhat holiday.
It's somewhat holiday.
To our knowledge.
To our knowledge, based on the description.
Could go one way or the other.
Exactly. And the story is set in near future Japan. Facing an era of extremely low birth rates, children are treated as national treasures and are cared for and protected by adults in boarding schools. Santa Claus, who gives children hope and dreams, is considered a dangerous person and is targeted for elimination.
Oh boy.
And on a snowy December 25th, middle school student Sanda Kujihigi's life is threatened by his classmate Shori Furimura. Having learned that Sanda is a descendant of Santa Claus, she is hoping that he would grant her a wish. Santa, please find my friend. Furimura's wish is to find her missing best friend, Ichi Ono. To protect the children, Santa decides to become Santa Claus and fight against adults.
Why not?
I'm pumped.
It sounds
like a wild
sounds
time.
very strange. But yeah, this is currently airing, I believe, on my anime list. So, I don't know how. I would say they're at least decent. It does say it's supposed to stop airing December 20th.
Yep.
Which is a Saturday, I believe.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
In which case, this episode for Anime of the Month could potentially come out on the 24th if that's the case.
Yep.
We will try our best to update you guys as
Time get closer.
There's also could be delays.
Could be delays. It happens. I mean, Zom 100 is the biggest one I think of when I think of anime
It
delays.
happens. So we will try our best to keep you guys in the know. But if all goes according to plan, this Christmas episode will be out on Christmas Eve.
Wild.
Which will be very good timing. So it probably won't work out for us. And then we also will have an episode on New Year's Eve. In which case we'll just do a nice little recap of the year for the Nerdy Misfits.
Which is going to be pretty fun.
I can't believe we're talking about the end of the year episode.
Time flies, man. This podcast stresses me out because of that sometimes, where I'm like, wow, we're on another, Anime of the Month is coming up now. You're like, wow.
Anime of the Month does make it feel a lot faster because you're like, I need to watch this.
Yeah.
And
I have 4 days. Yeah. But anyways, if you got this far in the podcast, thank you so much for listening and definitely subscribing. And if you want to watch Santa this month and watch along with us and stuff like that, make sure you join the Discord. We're going to toss it in the Anime of the Month December channel, and you're able to leave some comments or concerns about your thoughts on this show.
Absolutely.
But until then, we will see you next week with a fun new setup we got just for that episode, though.
Yep.
And we'll see you then.
Yeah, goodbye.
Bye.
TNMP, the Nerdy Misfit Podcast. Don't forget to join the island by dropping a follow. Thank you. And see you next week.